We're live. It's Sunday, 3:21 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:21 BST bullshit time. It's across the podcast, the best podcast you never heard of. We are on the show. It's Matt and Sam steering the ship right into an iceberg or a cliff or whatever. And if you're watching the stream and you are paying attention, which I hope you are, you'll notice to our right is an esteemed guest. It's Dan Tanner from TannaSoLit, sir. Welcome to the show. Finally, after all these months, we finally got you on and got you some time. I appreciate you coming on, sir. Welcome.
Hey, appreciate it. And I appreciate you calling me esteemed. I don't know what the fuck it means, but thank you.
Well, you're definitely one of the guys that I follow. I follow a lot of, Eric from Easy Computer Solutions and Viper and all those guys.
Yeah.
But I stumbled upon your content because my buddy happens to be in, he actually was in St. Louis. He was a hip hop artist. His name was Matthias. So he was big in St. Louis as far as a hip hop guy. Well, he's moved to California. Now he's doing his own beats. And so that kind of really got my interest. And I saw your stuff and I hear your stuff. And I go, wow, that stuff's just bumping. I love it. So
appreciate it. Gratitude with no attitude, man. I try.
Absolutely. And on top of the fact, you happen to be a fellow Chicago Bears fan. So that automatically made you a man of the world. So Matt has no clue what's going on because it's that football hand egg crap. So he's in. So we're just glad that you could take time on a busy Sunday. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, and so we appreciate the time.
Hey, it's all good. I appreciate you guys inviting me. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot to me. Believe that.
Well, good. So my question really out the first is we always have what we call our origin story. So we want to know, where did TannaSoLit start? Did it start as the music thing and then spun into tech and just kind of organically changed, or was it tech and then the music kind of came? I'm curious, where did Dan Tanna start? Because all of our fans can see your content. That's why we like you coming on the show, because we can watch your YouTube channel and see what you feel about Pixel 5, iPhone, tech. But I want to know, who is Dan Tanna? That's what I want to know. That's the kind of stuff we'd like to hear. So whatever you're willing to give up and talk about, that's what we like to hear. That's the stuff you can't get from your channel just watching it.
I love. That's what's up. Well, since my statute of limitations is up, I can talk about some shit. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on the south side of Chicago, street dude. You know what I'm saying? Out in the streets with my brothers and them for a minute. Went to high school. Actually, I was known for playing sports, football, and basketball and stuff like that. But then during that time, a good friend of mine started producing music, Twista at first, the legendary tracks or whatever. So I used to call myself thinking I could rap or whatever, me and my guys. So he was like, man, just come on, man, move up the band line. So he started showing us the ropes, and I started to develop the talent to make music, beats first and everything. So, man, fast forward real quickly ahead, you know what I'm saying? I got a placement with Twista, Jill Scott on their albums, producing music for them. Now, my guy, Duke, my manager, that jackass, he told me, man, you need to do YouTube because you're funny as shit, this, that, and third, blah, blah. Man, I ain't into that camera shit, man. I ain't in front of the camera or whatever. So he was like, man, just try. So I ended up doing an episode with him, and people was just loving it and started subbing or whatever. So I started watching YouTube and caught the bug and started making content with my S6 Edge, man. And the rest is history.
Awesome. It's interesting to see how you kind of stumbled upon YouTube, and it's nobody we've talked to really ever started out my main goal, maybe now, but back in the day, they weren't okay, I want to get on YouTube and try to get clicks and get subs and and hit the bell icon, right? It was all I just tried it on a whim or tried it for a giggle or just said, what the hell? I'm throwing it against the wall and see if it sticks. And then all of a sudden it just kind of snowballs, and then poof, here we are. And we are at TannaSoLit, which is awesome because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of your content, and having you on the show is awesome. And so just watching your takes and then watching the streams on Saturday, on the nighttime streams every once in a while, even if I can only jump in for 10, 15 minutes, just those things are man, if you come in here, you better bring a flak jacket, or you better bring a bestest vest or something, because this shit's getting hot as hell. You come in here soft, these guys are going to melt you down to the fucking ground.
That is very true. I couldn't have explained that any better, to be fair.
Yeah, man. See, when I made up my mind to do YouTube, I always wanted to make the channel that I want to be a part of, as far as content, viewer, and all that stuff. So I was like, well, I wanted to create a place that's like home, but you can let everything out. No matter what, if you like Android, if you like iPhones, if you cuss, if you don't curse, if you're Christian, atheist, I don't care. Let's just turn up and have fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's the environment I wanted to create. And so far it's been pretty cool,
Yeah, and I also noticed that with that inclusivity and bringing everybody in. I don't care what you're coming. I don't care what kind of tech you're bringing, but you better not bring some soft feelings, because if you put yourself out there and somebody's going to get into you, you got to be able to take a punch. If you're going to get out there and you're going to get in the ring, you're going to have to take one in the chin every once in a while. And I know a lot of people that their feeling gets hurt.
That's right. That's right. And I wanted to let a few content creators know out there too. Like, if somebody comes to your stream, it's okay to roast their ass. You know what I'm saying? And kick them out. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You're human.
Especially if their takes are off what you want, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, and also, folks, I noticed you can probably hear it now. We've got echo. We're trying to fight through it. So, unfortunately,
we're having some
channel,
technical difficulties this evening.
Oh,
it's
man.
definitely probably because the two guys between Sam and Matt. You know, we're not exactly professionals over here. So,
StreamYard doesn't help.
Here they go.
So I always ask the question too. I know your channel is about checking out tech and different kinds of phones, but what kind of phone do you usually rock? When you do test a phone, do you really use it for that time, or do you switching sims a lot? I'm like, okay, I'm on this for 2 weeks. I'm on this for 2 weeks, but do you have like a phone? It's like, I know I review all these. I gotta have a secondary sim to test out network capability and check it out, but this is my go-to phone. I'm going to stay on this. And behind the scenes, this is the phone I rock in my day. Like, I walked to Dan Tanna and he was at a coffee shop or at a bar or whatever. What phone would he really have? The one he's testing or the one he really uses?
Oh man. See, that's a good question. See, I got to tell the truth. Damn it. All right.
We called him out.
Right. Okay. I'm using an iPhone 12 as of late, but when it comes to the review process, I'm not brand loyal or anything like that. I used to rock nothing but Samsungs for the longest after HTC folded and shit. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I let the tech do the talking. So I review phones and use them like the average consumer, like a normal person would. You know what I'm saying? So I go ahead and do all my business, web surfing, just the normal functions of a phone and everything, and take it from there. Yes, some phones are better than others. And to me, you know, you could ask Eric. Eric need a damn phone that can do every goddamn thing. Me, I just need the basic shit. You know what I'm saying? So if it does the basic shit effectively, then that's the phone for me, you know?
Yeah, Eric wants it to cut up celery. He wants it to fold laundry. He probably get one to drive. I mean, Eric definitely has a high threshold. Like, he is hardcore about the way his phones work. Like, they have to, like, if they are... Even if they're designed to have some compromise, he ain't having that. Like, if this phone doesn't do it all, this phone's garbage. It's trash. Fuck this thing. And I'm like, damn, Eric, you got to realize there is that unicorn phone, but he's a lot more stringent. And when something doesn't work right, he does not hold up. He does not hold it. He will let it like immediately rip.
Which is fair though, man. You're spending the amounts of money that people charge now. You want a phone to do everything it possibly can, not leave features out because we'll just wait for next year to release that. That's
right. And me, if the battery life sucks and your camera sucks, I'm gonna roast your ass. It is what it is, but I'm gonna do it tastefully.
Well, then Dan's probably going to be interested to see. This is my daily driver.
I'm sorry, Mila. Okay.
So
here's your fucking piss yellow skin, man. Seriously.
And that's the funny thing. That's the only thing Matt hates. He was down with me having this phone until I put this phone skin on it, and ever since that, it's been like a month and a half, and he absolutely hates the skin. He hates it with a passion. Like, calls it piss yellow.
I don't know why. I hate it.
Penalty on the play.
Right.
Unnecessary swag.
Yeah.
Sam. 1,000-yard penalty. Repeat fifth down.
Right. You might as well just go ahead and just get. Actually, that's a match penalty. You're out. You just eject me, right? Just take me off the show. So
no.
Can we do that?
See, but that's the thing. I'm glad you brought that phone up. That's what I mean. Everybody uses phones different and subjectively. You know what I'm saying? I don't use my phone like y'all, and vice versa. All three of us uses our phones differently and everything. So if that Microsoft phone, the Duo, works for you, all praises. Have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to judge you.
It
I'm
works
the
for me.
gaming phone guy. That's what I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
ROG3 was my latest one this year.
So ROG3, Black Shark. Yeah. Also
the Black Shark 3 Pro. The Red what was it called?
I don't know.
I can't even remember.
This is where you show up. Red Magic.
Red Magic.
Yeah. So he's the gaming. Yeah, he's the gaming phone guy, which is interesting because if you really look at it,
weird because I'm using the Oppo Find X2 Pro as my daily phone. So
right. Yeah.
It's because that's what this is. This whole thing is the Oppo.
Dan's like, yeah, and we're in the States and we ain't even get no chance of rocking that fucking thing.
None of that shit. No.
You won't get this either.
Yeah, exactly. So the funny thing is the two things that Dan had made criticism, I think that's probably why the Duo is a no starter for him because the battery is if he puts fuck yourself.
That hurt.
Hey, fuck it.
He knew I was trying to talk. It's not a disrespect thing. It's just me.
That was fucking brilliant. That was great.
And Aditya is already asking, "Am I drunk already?" The answer is no.
Yes.
Oh, we can drink on here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what do you think? This is a little
do tell.
Oh yeah. If you got yourself some whatever you got some rum, you got some beer.
This show is pretty much free for all.
Yeah, I'm going Russian today. Vodka.
There you go. With love.
Yeah.
As long as it's not McCormick's. Can't drink that shit.
No, sorry.
Okay, I'm just checking. If it's Goose, that's cool, or whatever. If you don't want to go Goose, it's good. Yeah.
Drinks it out of that cup so no one knows what it is.
Right.
Gotcha. No, I got the Tito's. All right.
Oh, Tito's is good. Tito's is very good. So the two things you had mentioned, the battery life and the camera. If you're a Duo user, if you put some oomph into this battery, it ain't gonna make it. But my charging habits are different. I've got a charger at home. I'm working from home. I got a charger in my car because when I plug up to Android Auto, it's charging. So, but I will tell you that if you put a lot of gas under this, if you start to use this battery and really do what you're supposed to do with this Duo, it's not going to make it all day. At least not in my experience. Maybe it can if you throttle or do some battery management or whatever. But that's definitely it's not bad battery.
I don't know anybody who actually does that battery management, like power saving mode and all that. I've never seen anybody using that.
If you have to, if you're out and about and you're like really stuck in a bad spot, maybe you'll throw it on ultra power saver just to get some connectivity. But
you've got the Mate 30 as well, though, haven't you?
I was going to say. So what I did was I needed a companion device, so I went out and picked up a Mate 30.
I'm telling Trump.
Yeah, well, I did it specifically to put him. I did it just to fuck that guy.
That could not have been the cool. That was the quickest response.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just like I said, we don't get political at all in this show, but like I said, part of the reason why I bought a Huawei.
These faces that we're making laughing now is how we watch your videos. But you can actually see us now.
Yeah, so I think if for specifically for like Dan's concerns, the battery life and the camera. Well, obviously, and I've taken pictures with the Duo, and in really good light, it's okay. Anything else, any lighting condition that's poor, substandard, dark mode, light time, and if you're in your room, forget it. It's not going to perform. It just isn't going to.
Got you. But that's why when I do a camera test, it be in daylight and in well-lit conditions, because most people are going to take most of their pictures in well-lit conditions. Right. If it's too dark, I never had the urge to pull the phone out of my pocket and go ahead and get a picture of something. You know, so it got to be somewhere with some light on it to where I can see the subject. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame other content creators for doing a nighttime test, but you won't see one from TannaSoLit. Right.
Well, and I think that's good because you're going like, I don't really use a phone in that condition. The people are coming to me for how I would use a phone, right? Not how good is the phone, because that, again, like you said, your perfect example, it's subjective. You know, you might rock a phone that nobody else wants to use. I mean, I'm using a Duo, and even people who were hardcore Duo users have now moved on. You know, like Jay Will's gone off of it. You know, Adam was a user, you know, and I don't know anybody currently, any tech user Dan Rubino is probably the only one. I think he's the only one that's actually rocking one. And maybe
no one in the UK, I can tell you that.
They don't have them in the UK
because we don't have that phone.
Look at y'all.
But you said you're using an iPhone 12, and my question is do you not put that out there just because all your Android people give a hate, or is it just because? I'm curious why it's like
I would have known that bothering too much.
Yeah. No. No, I just let the tech do the talking. So if it was an Android phone, if the Pixel outperformed that or whatever, then fine. Even though I'm a member of Team Pixel. But still, they understand, well, I'm a non-biased review and all that. So if it was the Pixel, then fine, go ahead and shoot. The iPhone just happens to have over 9 hours of on-screen time battery life for me. And to me, that's clutch. That's all I pretty much need.
Yeah. And I saw you did the Pixel 5, and it wasn't like, I mean, it's like it's a really solid phone. I actually didn't get a chance to get hands on until Friday when I was out kind of getting some shopping done. Yeah. I was actually thinking the phone was bigger, but once I got it in hand, I'm like, wow, it's kind of a small phone. I'm actually kind of feeling that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too, because I got more real estate in my pocket when I put it in there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it just being all in the way with a big old note or something. I like the mid-size phones, a little bit smaller. Not the mini size, but just a 6-inch form factor. I'm good.
Right. Or trying to put this in your pocket. Well, then you've got rubber bumper, so it's like not only does it barely fit, but now you got rubber bumper. It's a pain in the ass to handle. I can tell you right now, in answering phone calls, and it's
you really love that phone, that like a lot.
For what I use it for, yeah. I mean, I'm not really using it much enterprise or productivity.
It's perfect for you.
It's perfect for me. But I will easily throw a SIM in here and rock this like all day. Like Friday, I had the Mate 30 with me, and I even had a guy who caught the fact that he saw the camera housing. He's like, "What kind of phone is that?" And I said, "A Huawei." And he's like, looked at me like I was like, "Yeah, they still make phones." Yeah, but it's on the entity list. I said, yeah, I know. And that's part of the reason why I bought it, because it is on the entity list, because I'd like to say to the man, right?
The X-Man.
Right.
Hey, he's fighting. Look at some person out there. He's fighting. He still got a chance. He might win this thing.
Right. He's going to lose it. They're just like tossing him out one after time. I'm like, okay.
There's a chance he might win. There's a chance.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a chance that we'll get 1 million subs when this is all said and done.
I'll tell you one thing. This year's US elections has been the most entertaining from a neutral point of view.
Man,
it's nuts.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way, man. I'm not political worth for shit. You know what I'm saying? But this 4 years has been the most entertaining 4 years in politics ever.
Yeah. I can say from a pure entertainment. And what do you expect when you get a reality star / celebrity? It's really not even a person who's qualified to be really doing anything.
Moron is the word.
Yeah.
I know how I feel. You've seen who's in charge of our country.
Yeah, Boris. He's got really awesome hair. It's just not differently colored, but his hair is wacky as hell. He looks like he just got out of bed every day. That dude's awesome. Boris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So again, we talk about those things with the phones, and I'm glad you test them. And it seems like you like the Pixel 5, but it's just not a daily driver for you, just because what's the main thing missing from the Pixel? Like if you can say one or two things that's like, man, I could rock this like my iPhone 12, but what is it, you think?
That's funny, because I was about to switch back this week. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's like pretty much tied with the 12 as far as the as much as I love it. You know what I'm saying? The cameras, I can't lie. The cameras are probably better on the Pixel 5 to me than the iPhone 12. You know what I'm saying? I just think so. And the screen, the 90 hertz refresh rate, love that a lot. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I got a Mac computer, iPad, Apple Watch. It's like the ecosystem. I'm kind of in there, locked in there, gridlock.
Right.
But that's about it. I mean, the Pixel, I have no complaints on it, bro. It served me fine. A couple more colors, as we mentioned in the Team Pixel meeting, and I'll be all right.
Right. It's just like, and it's funny because
look at the light blue, the new blue color. There's like 4.
Yeah, I can say right now the iPhone that my wife just got the iPhone 12, just the regular one, and that blue is pretty sweet. I was like, when she bought it at the store, I was like, I wouldn't really consider going back to an iPhone, but the 12 might make me do it, and not the 12 Pro Max, but
it's all about the blue phones.
Yeah, I just think it's a really good color, and then for a blue, it's about the hue I'd like. It's just not too light, it's not too dark. It's really. Yep. It's almost like sometimes the blues are almost like it's almost navy. It's almost could be black. It's just like
the 12 really Pros. Blue? The 12 Pro's blue is way worse than the 12s.
Yeah,
I agree.
I just don't feel it. I don't. As far as the blue color, I just don't like that blue. That tint of what my wife's got. Blue. That's the same one Tina's got.
There's a lot of blue phones about at the minute. I will say that. Started with the OnePlus 7 last year, and everyone's like, "No, we need a blue phone. We need a blue phone."
So
why
interesting.
Blue? I don't know, it's just blue. Everyone likes blue. Make a green one as well.
Okay.
Now, since the color so matters, so Dan, do you really you rock a case slot? Is it kind of dependent? Do you really try to stay? I mean, I know you have to because they're reunions. You don't want to break them and you have to come up with them.
Yeah, I got to keep a case on my phone. I just do. I'm kind of clumsy with it sometimes. I drop in my life.
Right.
So, Nimbus 9 and Rinkies are my favorite 2 case companies I rock all the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got to keep some on here. But when you said blue, though, you're right. It's almost bare blue. So you know what I'm saying? I was just showing up.
Yeah, that's a sharp color. That's exactly the phone my wife's got. And when she was picking up and she actually had the unit in her hand, I was like, Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling that. That blue's pretty sweet. I actually like that color.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, I'm a caseaholic, pretty much. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, there's a lot of interesting story coming from your wife's iPhone for saying she's not had it that long and she got locked out of it, can't get back into it, and then you go into it.
I love my wife very much. So I'm going to preface this next comment by saying this could probably deserve a good fashion ass kicking. It's probably coming. And I could use that. And also, here's the trick. If you're a married man and you're willing to go rogue and piss your wife off, when you go buy a couch, the first thing I did when I bought that couch is I laid in it, like laid flat on it. And the guy was like, oh yeah, you can get comfortable. I said, there's a reason why I'm laying on this couch like this, because you don't want to ever get a couch that it's too short for you can lay flat. Because if you're going to be spending time on a couch, you want to make sure you can at least be comfortable. You don't want to go side or crooked. Get a couch, folks.
You're getting kicked out of bed a lot.
No, a lot of times it's not kicked out. It's voluntary. It's a voluntary recusal. I'm like, I saw a sign that said, when your wife says, everything okay? Yeah, we're good. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can always tell. You always know when you're in the shit house. If you're in a tune, you're a husband and man, you know when you're in trouble.
You live in the shit house. It's very rare you're out of it.
Well, you got to be like, Dan knows sometimes. Like I said,
I'm the same.
That's what keeps them there, though.
Right.
If we all the time, shit, they're gonna leave.
Shit, she's in.
On top of it too, is like with your streams. You guys sometimes you go.
She just walked in.
Yeah, she's right there.
Everyone act normal.
She's getting the eyeballs. and then the eyeball with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Sometimes you just gotta for the sake of the channel, you gotta put it out there. So it's all good. So
she's gonna murder us all.
Oh yeah, she's gonna come on. When you come and visit, she's gonna kick your ass for sure straight away. She's gonna see the door.
100%. The welcome I'm expecting when I come over is an ass kicking. I'm gonna say. See, I'm coming in a cup.
See, there she is, right there.
Sis. Hey, how you doing? Hey, sis. I'm
gonna get my ass kicked, Anna.
Yeah, you're gonna get an ass kicking.
No smoking in the house.
No smoking in the house. You have to go outside.
No, that's fine.
He's okay. He's probably okay with that.
And what you smoking, by the way?
No, not that. Well, maybe that.
What?
No, it's okay. He's asking.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah. You just want to make sure there's rules in the house, and she's just right. She's not hard. No, she's actually
smoke when I come over at all.
Mm-mm. No, she's
not
she's
even
really
not even a chance. I'll smoke in the woods. Okay.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting to say, but I'm curious when you're doing your content. Have you ever? I always ask this question of other creators too. You ever got a phone in or any kind of tech where you knew immediately or within the first 10 minutes, you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling this at all, but I don't want to. I got to find a way to tactfully do this because I want to maintain a relationship possibly in the future, but I'm just not feeling this at all, and I don't know a good way to kind of. I'm curious when was the last time that happened and how'd you handle it?
That was recent. That was the S20 Plus. It felt like the same old Samsung all over again.
Right.
So I just didn't do a review on it. You know what I'm saying? Sold it.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. Like I said, because I know I'm an old Windows phone guy. And so we were talking about colors of phones, and man, Nokia back in the day, man, they had like the 1520s and the 920s, and they had all sorts like blue and yellow and red and matte black and white. I mean, they were like rocking colors. I think it's funny how we're like looking at phones back then going, man, I really wish I could get a Lumia color scheme. It's like, I understand not all SKUs sell. I know it's hard to have a whole bunch of white ones and they're sitting in a warehouse, but damn, man, people like colors. I know you're putting a case on it, but still, man.
Right.
Huawei do colors best, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They go out there.
Huawei.
They go out there and do some nice colors on their phones.
But it's just interesting. Like I said, I mean, when you bought that 12, was the blue like a thing? Like if you didn't like the blue as much, would you have preferred like a green or a different color? Like what color would you like? Man, if I could get
white,
this white, yeah, I like white.
Yeah, because the red wasn't this red. You know what I'm saying? I like red. You know what I'm saying? It was like a dark tangerine or a deep peach.
I saw that. I was thinking that's not. I'm sure the previous generations of product red phones were red. But this one's just more like a faded. It's been
like
in
the color
sun
of his
long,
microphone,
kind of red.
like his microphone cover.
That was the product red ones, but now they're like, no.
I don't know why. Yeah, my wife had an A+, and that was red. That product red was red. It was almost fire engine candy apple red.
Beautiful. Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's beautiful. Yes. And somebody said there's a US phone maker called Blue. Yeah, the 3 letters. Bloated,
BLU.
and useless. That's what blue stands for.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they're
If you're buying a phone on Amazon and it costs you £35 or $35, it's not worth fucking. It's not worth it.
Yeah, they. I actually thought they kind of went away, and then I happened to be at Best Buy and I saw it. They actually had a couple of blue models, and I think they were $90.
What, at Best Buy?
Yeah, and like I had an
Who
unlocked
did they pay?
section. Yeah. I don't know. I thought blue was done, but yeah, even when they had like they did a little dabble in Windows phones, I was like, I mean, Windows phones are already rough as it is, but these are terrible.
I forgot about Meizu.
Oh, my buddy,
completely forgot about Meizu. I did. That they were even a company.
Hey, Double A, hey man, you know me.
Yeah, that's exactly why I was happy to have Dan on, because I knew once we told him, I'm like, realize that even though we're on, this is a podcast, and even though we kind of stream, you just let it rip. If you need some profanity or you need to cuss, we're all good. If you need to get into somebody's ass, please do. Yeah.
Hey, love. Hey, so far ain't nobody said shit, so I'm great. I'm peachy.
No,
well, just wait. Aditya will say something ridiculously fucking stupid as always.
Yeah, and he usually gives me trouble for being 45 years old because I guess he, when Christ was a corporal.
He's old. OnlyFans is awesome. And
I'm older than you are. Come on,
yeah,
now.
I know what I'm saying. I mean,
I'm 30. I'm like the young.
Oh, you a baby.
I'm the young one.
All right.
It's just a kid.
I was 30 this year as well. So
what? Damn it.
Yeah. There you go. See? There you go. See? Stop kidding yourself. You're a pensioner. Fuck you, man. That's okay. I wish I could draw a pension. I'd fucking double dip. I'd get paid and draw the pension. I wish I could hook that up. I can't. So, so I was going to ask Dan too. Like, I know we've always had a lot of phone releases, but it seems like this last third and fourth quarter of 2020 have just been like, is it me, or has it just been more devices than ever in this last 6 months, man? It's
like worse. You live this side of the pond.
Like,
yes. We get all these other companies as well, like Realme and that releasing 7 phones a week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you noticed that. It's just maybe because I'm an outsider, but I'm like, dude, there's been a shit ton.
No, I say this every week on Wired Wednesday with Easy. I said 2020 has been epic in the third quarter. And my years of doing tech reviews and stuff like that, I've never seen a race like that. It seemed like the stuff that I was complaining on Pixels about, which was the looks and form factor of it, they didn't improve it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, it's not the best looking phone, but it looks a whole lot better than what it used to look. And then when they came with the software on it even harder, it's like, damn. And then comes the Fold Z Fold 2. Like, holy shit. Then comes the different variations of the iPhone. I'm like, what? They got a mini for the little people? That's what's up, shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm seeing the link of the next Huawei phone. What's that? The P40 or something like that?
Yeah, the P40.
The Mate 40.
Actually, it should be the Mate. It's the Mate. The P's already out. The P40 Pro and the P40 Pro Plus.
Yeah. And the Mate 40 with that thing on the back, like the iPod used to, the design of the cameras.
Right.
Lit. I'm like, oh shit, you're right. This has been crucially, the hardest third quarter and fourth quarter that we had in a long time in the tech world, and it's beautiful. It's making all these other companies step up to the plate and give us more great products to buy.
Well, and the good thing is how do you manage all that? Because like I said, I know in the past you've got that kind of trickle, but now you can't possibly cover it all. So you got to figure out where your lanes are, right? So I mean, how have you been managing your content, which you're creating in this with the unprecedented level of like just, dude, there's just too many phones. I don't have enough people or time to do all this to be effective.
Good question. I flip a coin.
Okay. Seriously, just fuck it.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I go back to the phones that I've reviewed in past and what my subscribers really ask for too. Like, man, check this phone. I'm interested in getting this phone. So I said, okay, let me check that phone out too. You know what I'm saying? Because also 2020 has been the year of the mid-range phone. So some people don't want to spend $1,000 and over for a flagship. They want the mid-tier joint that's like $750 and cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times they be asking me about, you know what I'm saying, the iPhone 12 or the Pixel or the next LG or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? So I go ahead and do that on that end. But next year it's going to be something special in Pixel land. So I might have to step it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Because they're coming with some heat.
Boy. I think they finally have figured out like what the niche is, right? We can't go for Pixel 4 XL. We ditched the SoLit thing. We're not at that $900 point. And I think part of it's because of their own figuring out on their own. But I think the also thing too is we're talking about mid-rangers now, and we're talking phones in the $250 to $500 range. There's a ton of shit in that range.
Poco are killing it in that fucking lower end. That X3 is ridiculous for that.
I gotta check it out. You said that.
Yeah.
I had the Poco X3, and seriously, I couldn't believe I only paid 170 quid for it. I just couldn't believe it.
Right.
I was so shocked. I just couldn't get off using it because it was like, I don't know what it was. I just couldn't put the phone down. I was like, I don't know what the fucking hell I'm still holding this for, but it amazes me how this was 170. 170. You can buy 5 of these for the price of a fucking Samsung.
Yeah. And I agree with you, Dan, as far as like Pixel. I think they figured it out, but I think it just happened to work out that way. It's like, I don't think they could have anticipated a year ago what that new mid-range 250 to 500, you got, the iPhone, and even Apple dived in and got into it with the SE. It's like, okay, now that's a legitimate price category, that 250 to 500, and Pixel couldn't come out with another phone that was $900. They got crucified.
And they were geniuses with that SE, because what they did was they released it at a time that it wasn't no phone that size with a full screen. So that's what the Mini is SE with a full screen and a better body. So they know how to market, and their timing is impeccable this year. It's like bam, bam, bam. Even though the people said, well, there were a couple of phones delayed and whatever, but it still didn't hurt their sales or anything. So as far as the way they released the damn devices this year, Apple did their thing, and the announcements, on point. Oh yeah.
That's always been my argument with Apple now, to the point where they almost don't need commercials anymore, and they don't even really a keynote, because they just got to announce a phone, and between the leaks and then between content creators and Marquez and all those people like you and all those people are out there talking about the phones and reviewing them, Apple could just sit back and go, we don't even need a fucking marketing department. We're just going to let it's to the point now where that snowball is already
sells
down the hill.
Itself.
It's Katamari Damacy, right? It's just fucking big, huge ball picking up everything. And they could just sit back for 2 years ago. We're going to reallocate the money from our marketing team into R&D and really that's it. We don't really care about the money because we're $1 trillion valued company. Plus these phones sell themselves. If they just put a phone out there, it's going to sell no matter what it is, even if it's crippled. I wouldn't say crippled, but people made it sound like it's only at 60 hertz. Wait till the iPhone 13
I hate
comes
that.
out.
I hate people that say that. It's only 60. Only 60. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm terribly sorry. It's only 60 hertz.
Yeah. But Dan's right. I mean, he figured it out. It's like Apple figured it out. He's on point. I mean, that Apple has got it down to a science. Like they know where the market's going to be, and they're just going.
Yep. Giving people
120 is nice. Yes. Great. My phone can do 120. What does it come out of the box default with that? Does anybody actually go into the settings and change it? No, not really. And what actually supports 120 Hz? When
there you
apart
go.
From scrolling through your phone's menu, that's it.
Look, it's so smooth. I'm like, oh shit.
Right.
And then you go online and it's like, what the fuck happened?
Right. And then Dan's content really, he uses the phone like a regular user, and this is not, and I say this, and I try not to, and I'm not begrudging Apple users. Don't take this as that. I
hate Apple users.
No, it's but Apple users are more like my wife. My wife is like, she got the iPhone 12. She was okay with using the 8, except for it was a little slow. No, and the battery.
If you get hit by a shoe in a minute, we know why.
But my wife didn't understand that if you forget your passcode and you have an iPhone, you're fucked. Like there's no like recovery. It's DFU mode and fuck it, right? You got to wipe the whole thing, right? And also,
true story as well.
if you mention a 90 hertz refresh to like my parents who use iPhones or my wife who uses an iPhone, they'll be like, what the fuck is a refresh rate? Like they don't even conceptualize what that is. They don't even know where half the settings in their iPhone. They are not these kind of people that are digging into settings and finding developer options and turning the fucking animations to 1/2.
No,
those are not those people.
Nope. Most people are still amazed that you can plug your phone charger in now either way.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is it's one of those things where Dan's right. When you talk about it, if you talk to most people who use iPhones, they just wanted to, they're just the communications tool that they can use for social media, and they know it takes good pictures, and it's an iPhone.
Yeah, that's it.
And it works. And now they don't have to like decide, well, I really want a big iPhone or not a big iPhone. It's like, now I got a mini and now I got a regular, and I got a Pro and a Pro Max.
Small, bit smaller, tiny, and absolutely ridiculous. That's right. That mini, man. Oh, I could not even. I could not even.
Dan's like,
I'd just be like, I've got big hands, right? So I'd just be like, what the fuck? What's this?
Yeah, I couldn't do
but
it. I was gonna get the
iPhones they're just easy to use, and they have better optimized apps. Well, I'll say that because it's just easier for developers to make it because there's only one platform, one skin. That's it. It's just Apple.
Gotcha.
So they do have better, more optimized apps, and I don't know. I'm not either or. I appreciate hardware and software either way. I prefer Android because I like customizing mine.
Yeah,
but I don't mind using Apple phones. I had the 11 Pro Max, so.
And then when you said, Dan, that Google's going to bring an extra the Pixel, what do you think that, like, if you could like look in your crystal ball, right? You're being your John Prosser, Max Weinbach, what do you think they're going to bring?
I'm in Team Pixel, so I already know we had the meeting and everything. So different form factors of phones, you heard it here first. They're coming with it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Everybody want to fold? Watch this.
I want to see that Oppo rollable.
That would be dope.
Like, that looks so good.
Well, I think
I don't know. I think it's there's crease for one, and the durability, and the fact when you're holding it, it just feels like a normal phone. Like the Fold, when you're holding it, it's two phones stuck together in it, basically.
Right.
But this Fold, it looks so good.
I think it solves the Duo and the Z Flip problems, right? The Z Flip's problem is the crease, right? And the fact, and you have to get to the content when you need it, right? You can't. If you're using it, and really here's the thing, if you're going to use it folded and the screen's so good in the front, then why get a fold, right? If it's so good, you've almost made the screen so good that you don't even want to unfold it unless you're watching content, right? You don't want to make it too good. And the Duo, obviously the problem is you have to really use it in this orientation. You have to use two screens all the time, or you could fold it, but it's still not great, right? But that solves it all. It's still a phone. And it just goes out when you need it, and it rolls back. And when it's just there's no crease and there's no two screens, but you get it's. If they can make that,
I'm getting one.
If they can make that land, man, that would be game changing. So if
there will
Google's
never be a screen
track,
protector.
Stay on that track.
There will never be a screen protector for that phone, though. You got to remember that.
Right.
Screen protector, never.
No.
And what I loved about Google in the meeting, they was asking us content creators, what do you think about this? So they actually gave a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
they're actually getting feedback from you guys.
Well, you can see that over the past few years from Pixel.
I know, Matt, right?
Like the way they've gone. You can clearly see where they've taken feedback and the direction they've gone in.
That's pretty awesome. It's
doing them so much better now than when the 3XL was at. And the 4XL was a good phone. But this year you can see that they've gone the route of the feedback and everything else.
The punch hole screen, the matte finish, wireless charging with a metal body.
Right, not concentrating on the 865 because they know damn well it doesn't make a difference to most people over the 700 series. So
capacitive fingerprint reader on the back, but also
I'm sorry, but that is the most underrated thing. This Xiaomi that I picked up the other day I didn't realize how much I miss it.
Yes,
until I've actually got one. I had the other ones where the Poco had it on the side.
Yeah, and see, I still have it. So even with the Duo.
I miss it.
See, it works for you.
Yeah,
this stupid Oppo, 90% of the time after allowing face unlock because fingerprint scanner is just like, no, it's not you. And I'm like, it fucking is me. I hate them. I do. Some of them are okay, but I genuinely hate the on-the-display fingerprint scanners over capacity.
Yeah, Apple did troll me. I thought this antenna on the side was actually a fingerprint sensor.
You're like, yes. Oh, you motherfucker.
It should have been. The size of the power button on the iPhone 12, they should have just whacked fingerprint scanner in it. Just call it a day. Done.
Especially on the iPad when they have the actual... It's the Touch ID is in the power button. It's like, okay,
the software supports Touch ID because it always has. So it's not like they couldn't have done it.
Yeah,
especially a year where everyone's wearing masks and you can't like face like
facts.
No,
yeah, but I'm good to see that a company like Google that really is talking to people at the ground level, not just ground level users, but actually some influencers and content creators. Like, look, you may not have the pulse on what my folks like, but I've got the pulse on what my folks like, and I'm telling you, this is the thing that over and over they're complaining about, and the fact that they're actually taking that feedback and utilizing it, and leveraging that to make their design decisions. I think it's amazing, to be honest with you.
Right, because I went into I went into the meeting just thinking it was going to be like every other meeting. They just go ahead and broadcast whatever. But no, it was a little of this. And Michael Josh was hosting. It was a moderator and everything.
Right.
Like, damn, they actually give a shit. Then they had the engineers on there with the camera. I'm like, wow, okay, this is all right. So we just typing in there what we thought they was going for.
That's good as well. They didn't just ask you, and then once everyone's gone home, they forgot what everyone said. Right. They actually took it in. It wasn't lip service.
Yeah. It seems like they clearly are asking for
more and more companies, I feel, not in the higher range, are listening to consumers. Like Sony took away the headphone jack, brought it back, made the Camera Pro app, the Video Pro apps, and gave you the alpha controls. And it's like, that's because that's what the Sony fans wanted.
Right.
They listened, gave it them. Pixel, they're doing the same thing.
Yep.
And it's like, if more companies did this, then they wouldn't have the problems that they've got.
Facts.
Yeah. Firing out a phone at every single price range, just trying to hit somebody.
Yeah, and then
Nokia, man, fucking Nokia with their phones. Like the 3.5, the 8.5, the 6.5, the 5.5, and I'm like, which one's fucking which?
Right.
Just calm down, and Motorola as well. They're doing exactly the same thing.
And I'm curious. I know that Apple's gone to their own silicon, right? What is Google? Do you think that may be a move at some point? Considering, I mean, hell, you might as well. I mean,
didn't we hear something about Google and Samsung working on something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But that's about it. But no time soon, I don't think.
Right.
They still trying to get the hardware and the software to marry together real well to sell more units.
Oh, absolutely. But
the more competition, the better, though, because Qualcomm are charging stupid for their flagship chipsets, which is why prices have gone up so quickly.
That's right. People like the crap.
They need the competition because Exynos ain't shit. Sorry, but we get stuck with the worst, especially this year. Like before, it was fine because they were better in some places, and then the Snapdragon was better in other. Now it's not even close. The Snapdragon pisses all over it.
Right.
Especially with the Notes, the Note fucking 20. You get the 865 plus. We get the same Exynos that's in the S20s.
Yeah. So Dan, here's a question for you: do you think we'll ever see a Pixel watch, a dedicated Google Pixel watch?
New form factors of Pixels are coming soon. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Oh, see, you heard it here first. So see, so I really, I think Google is finally deciding. It's like, okay, we need to be like, if we're gonna, we finally get the phone. We see what Apple's doing with different segments, different form factors, different sizes. We need to be in that space because really, I know the 875 is coming out, but that's going to be more power hungry. It's going to be
expensive.
Way more expensive, and I think Apple and all them have decided so they can make their chipsets themselves, their SoCs. It doesn't matter; they can control whatever that cost outlay is. But with having the fact that Google can go, we'll just take the 8.7. We'll take the 7 series. We don't give a shit
because we're not 45. I think, wasn't it, something like that?
Yeah, I mean the fact that they can do that is pretty. Mm-hmm. When you have to use an outside manufacturer, you've got to find the way to leverage that cost outlay. You just have to. And why make an 865?
We can't forget MediaTek either with the Dimensity chips. The MediaTek Dimensity chips are catching up quickly.
Right.
So it's going to be good to see what phone manufacturers next year, especially what they're going to go with, because the Dimensity 1000 is just as good. And it's going to be like, you don't know. You don't know.
See, I was excited just having Dan on the show because I actually get to talk to Dan Tanna he's actually on my show, our show.
Honestly, right? I'm going to pause right now. I have never, in the whole time we've done this, see him fanboy so much.
Oh, it's awesome.
Never.
No, seriously.
Never.
I'm not kidding.
I swear to God, never. He never. Well, we had Superstar for John Redger and everyone. And he's just like,
what? Well, and I'll explain. So,
and then Dan Tanna's coming on. He's like,
asshole. He's like, wait a minute, this guy's crazy, right? Super sad. You're like, no, and it's awesome having those guys on our show. Don't get me wrong, they're phenomenal.
No,
creators.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying I've never seen you like this. Never. This is an experience for me as well. I'm watching ooh.
And here's the thing: Dan doesn't need our exposure. We've got a really good core group of people, but I'm like, we're not the Joe Rogan Experience. No, but I know if I have Dan on the show, we have fun
doing this.
I know I'm going to get Dan Tanna. Like he's not going to give a shit about a Vim image, or I don't care about leverage, and no, he's going to come on the show. And that's the real, and that's the whole reason I do this. I don't want to talk to somebody who's going to give me a company line, and I realize that I can't talk about this. And I'm not saying they were, But here's the thing, John Rettinger and Superstaff are visible. They can't just come on a show and just let it rip because they could be on, an actual tech publication. Go, hey, did you see them go on this fucking podcast and like letting it fly and rip? And they're like, I mean, they have an image.
People know who we are.
But they told us in the meeting, like the shit I'm telling you is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's just like, but I know I can have Dan on. So not only I was excited to have him on just because I'm a fan of his show, but also the fact
that does go for me as well. I'm not saying that oh no, it's just that guy. Yeah,
man, I appreciate y'all.
But he's also in these meetings giving us nuggets about like, hey man, Google's moving. Like if you think they're just sitting on their laurels and they're not making moves and they're not just.
It looked like they were though for a while there after the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL. It looked like they were just gonna drift off or
I thought they were going to ditch the whole line. I thought they were just saying after the 4XL, they're like, you know what, this ain't working, man. Fuck it, we're just going to go back to
because the 4XL was supposed to be there. It's got the SoLit, it's got this, it's the radar system, blah blah. Right. That failed miserably. I thought that was it. Done.
Right. Now they got rid of a Google executive early this year, right?
Right.
The people that I saw had to be like 20-ish years old. Wow. So they're moving in a younger direction, so something new and fresh. That's exciting to me. You know what I'm saying? The way they handled everything, I'm like, holy shit.
And then also, Double A put up there, do us a favor. Trust me, if you're watching this stream, go to this website to Bandcamp and get some of this, man. I'm telling you, these beats are fucking fresh, man. And I'm a 45-year-old former male white police officer. Trust me, I can feel it. I'm telling you, man, they're just like, you can just sit back and go, wow, man, it's enough to, if you're not into hip hop, if you're not of the hip hop guy, I don't care. Do yourself a favor, go to this website, get this in your ears with a nice pair of KZs or somewhere, wherever you're using your earring monitors. I'm a former male. Yeah, that's right. I'm a former male. Love it. Jermaine's getting in on it. Good. Love it. Yeah, but no.
Hey, yeah. Jermaine, you're the concept creator. Please do me a female version of him.
But yeah, I mean, go check out Dan's stuff because I mean, just not his content as far as his tech content, which is awesome, but check out his beats because they are really, really good.
Yeah, and generally everything altogether, right? Like the YouTube, the music, just the banter on Twitter, the guy himself.
And I jumped into one of those chats one night. I think it was, I don't know if it was it was a night, and it was like him and a couple other people, and people were fucking just like, man, I was gonna say I'd like to get in on this. I'm like, man, these people would cut me to fucking shreds, man. I'm like, look, nah, I'm pretty good. I'm very rarely caught off guard or anything, but man, they were bringing the noise, bringing the funk, man. They were hardcore. I mean, you got to come into that show, and that's cool because that's the kind of engaging content I like to see. I don't want to see that whole. I like a lot of B-roll. I know Marquez is really professional, but sometimes you just got to get into there and you got to just go. Old school, South Side of Chicago, fucking Division, right? Old school. I grew up in the area, and my daughters. I was big on Chicago South food. I had to take them to Chicago, and we went to this place called Ducks. It's on the north side of Chicago. It's a little Vienna beef stand. It's in a rough neighborhood.
That's
even
where
for
the
me,
good food is. Okay.
Oh yeah, and I told my daughters who were like 11, 12 years old, like, okay, look, this is the north side of Chicago. This is not St. Louis. This isn't the suburbs. This is going to be an area that if you've never been to Chicago, you when you get out of the car, they were just like, and I was like, yeah, I know. And she's like, and Dad, are you okay? I said, honey, Dad was a cop. I'm cool with almost damn. It could be Beirut, and I'm like, okay, fuck it, let's go, right? Yeah. But Chicago, as far as food, and I was going to ask you too. I know you're not a Giordano's guy, but at the best. Okay, I was going to ask because I talked to Vipe, and I'll tell you, he asked me what the best pizza in Chicago is. I said it's Lou Malnati's, hands down, the best pizza in Chicago.
I like that too.
Lou's is good. I like Lou's.
Yeah.
But there's actually a place that maybe
know you're about.
Right. That's okay. You're gonna have to sit by for a second. I had to suffer through all this new cable.
I'm cool because I will experience. I will experience this stuff.
Yeah. There's a place called My Pies. Have you ever heard of it, Dan?
What you know about that?
My Pies?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was with my dad. We would go up there, and he used to go. I was this little white kid with a bunch of Puerto Ricans, right? And so they were showing me like the little. And here's the thing that was unique to Chicago that I'd never seen: the little, the areas where you like it's like a playground. It's like a rec center. Like rec centers like on the corner. I was like, you guys just kind of hang out, play basketball, and had an interior place. It was just like at night we were all just hanging out there, man. It was just cool. Like we're gonna go down the street. We're gonna go get a Vienna beef. It's like with fries, it's like $4. I'm like, this is awesome. Like in St. Louis, that just isn't a thing. It was an eye-opening experience. Just the whole city of Chicago.
Oh, love.
So much different than St. Louis. So anybody who lives in St. Louis and lives in Chicago, it's a whole different. It might as well be a different world.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I lived in St. Louis for like 3 or 4 years, you know what I'm saying, I had the Emo's Pizza. They were good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Emo's good.
And I had duck fried rice and a couple other things down there. Very good food. So I have no complaints about St. Louis food at all. But I know what you're saying. When you come to Chicago, it's a whole different kind of experience with the pies and the deep dish pizzas for real, and everything like that. Especially with the Giordano's chicken, sausage, and spinach, and you can put anything on a deep dish pizza.
An Italian beef, a Polish. And so if you're going to Chicago and you get out of O'Hare or Midway, wherever the hell you're flying into, do yourself a favor. Go to a local little shop and get yourself an Italian beef.
You ain't lying.
You ain't ever want to leave.
Tell them to dip it. You know what I'm saying? And put some peppers on it, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, I actually got the sport peppers. I got the celery salt. I got the whole Vienna beef kit, man. Fuck it. I ain't no punk, man. I know how it goes.
Yes, sir. Oh,
so
man.
that's interesting. But I told my wife a quick story. So I told my wife we were driving and she forgot we were staying out in Schaumburg. She forgot her debit card. So we were downtown. We were at the Field Museum and it was like a Sunday. And it was like maybe 9 o'clock. And she goes, "Oh, I forgot my car. We'll just go out to Schaumburg and we'll drive out and pick it up and come back." And I was like, "That's going to be like 3 hours." She's like, "What do you mean?" It's like, but we just get on we get expressway and we're like in Schaumburg. And I was like, getting to Schaumburg is going to be easy. Getting back from Schaumburg downtown she goes, "But honey, it's a Sunday." I said, "You ain't never been to Chicago, man." I said, "First of all, the tolls are going to kill you. And then because everybody's got to merge off and then everybody's got to merge back on.
There you go. We got to take the short.
And the problem is, I said, "Honey, did you see our car? We got Missouri plates on our car. They're going to cut us the fuck off." I said, "Luckily, I've been around, but I used to practically live in Chicago. So I was like getting there in my car, just fucking cutting in and out of traffic and fucking driving with Dan Ryan and cutting through." I'm like, my wife's like literally white knuckles going, "We're going to die." I was like, "No, man, you got to drive like this here."
Yeah, you have to drive like that. You have to.
So that was a cool story. She's like, "Oh, we'll get me back in an hour." It's like, we ain't getting back until fucking 1 because the traffic coming downtown is going to suck. And sure enough, we got to this wall of cars. She's like, "It's Sunday at 11 o'clock. I said, "Honey, there's 8 million fucking people who live in the city and they don't all take the loop." You know what I'm saying?
And that's 8 million counted. So it's really 20 million up in this.
Right. So it was interesting to kind of see that dichotomy of how that works. But I am just, like I said, I did watch my first actual football match, and I'm gonna say football because I'm trying to do solid by
just because it is fucking football.
No,
it's played with your feet.
It's soccer.
It's played with your feet.
No, Australian rules football is real football.
Football, feet.
Right.
Yeah.
American football.
That was awesome.
Hand egg. I don't give a fuck. Hand egg is played with your hands. Football is played with your feet.
But yeah, and it's funny because I'm watching this, and I even took a picture. I posted on Twitter. I was like, "Hey, I'm watching." Like it was halftime.
You watched the shittest football match. I'm sorry.
That was all was on. It was like that was it.
Well,
right?
That's because it's been a bit of a slow national lockdown.
Yeah. So it was okay.
I got to refill my cup and mess with this damn soccer.
Yeah. Bartender Joe Boo needs a refill, right?
Yeah.
So and
you should see my team play. We're fucking shit this year.
Oh.
So I guess the question is, so I know that you said that Google Silicon might be years out, but have you saw the M1, you saw the Apple's kind of making that move. Like, how do you feel about that? Are you looking to maybe try it out? Do you think it's going to work for what your workflow looks like? Because I mean, with what you're doing your content, I don't know if that's going to work. Like, how have you looked at all that and see what is that going to work for you?
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. I'll probably go ahead and cop it next year because right now I got a Mac Mini with 16 gigs of RAM on deck already. So to me, that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I like the way I like the direction that they're going in and everything, so everything's inclusive and you're gonna be able to use certain apps across devices. That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? With everything's moving. So yeah, with me, like I said, I like to let the tech do the talking. So I'm gonna go ahead and cop one and see what it does. If it works, then I'll keep it.
Yeah. So I
seems fair. Give it a fair shout. So it can do what you need it to do.
Yes.
Well, I think it's interesting too because really this is Apple's really like first set like silicon, right? Their first in-house silicon for their Macs and stuff like that. And I think it's interesting how people are willing to give Apple a pass.
They know how to do it though.
Well, I'm not saying they don't. But anything else, it's just like any other company, right? This is their first like set of hardware and SoC, right? There may be some issues they got to work out and some optimizations.
Oh, of course there is. They wouldn't have stayed with Intel as long as they did if they didn't have these problems before.
And that's the key. And that's the key. You're right, Sam. Optimization is key, no doubt about it. It's a reason why the Pixel runs Android like no other. They optimize the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And to me, I'm looking like, damn, every phone should run like that. The only phone I've seen run as close to a Pixel is a Huawei and a OnePlus. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the fluidity of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to optimization, if Apple does it to the iPhone and other products, that damn dope, I definitely got to check out the M1 chip within a desktop. No question about it.
Yeah, well, of course, if you slam 12 gigs of RAM into a Huawei or a OnePlus, of course, it's a better run, right?
That is the RAM argument.
It's going to be the challenge of seeing a 745 with 6 gigs of RAM. Can you run it the same way, right? Mm-hmm. And that's I think with the Pixel, and I had that Pixel 4 XL, and I'm telling you, just having the software like the astrophotography and the live dictation, and just it's so works. It's almost the closest thing again against it's the Google iPhone, right? But it's just like having all those capabilities on there and knowing you're going to have to worry about software updates, and if you want to go rogue and you want to put a beta build on there, or if you want to do, you can sign up for the development program, because I'm still into that. I can tell you right now, in my years since, and you mentioned HTC, and it upstairs in my drawer, I still have it, is my U12 Plus.
Wow.
And it actually got a software update. It actually is on August 2020. Yeah. It's still there. I can't get rid of it. I'm not. No, dude, I can't get rid of that phone. That HTC, it's like and I also have in that same drawer right underneath it is a Lumia 1520. Dan, I swear to God, it's a black 1520, and it works still. I still use it all the time.
That was the first camera phone.
Oh yeah, that was the Leica.
He did have the green one, but the SIM tray didn't work.
Right, so I had to get a black
card, the SIM reader. Yeah.
Gotcha. But I agree with Jermaine. Like the HTC, the U12, those buttons. Yeah, I still don't like that, but it's the closest thing to HTC, and I just can't. I can't part ways. I still get a soft spot in HTC. It's always going to have a love place in my heart. And same thing with Windows Phone. I would argue if you're talking about optimization and UI, how it works, nothing's better than Windows Phone. It's like you had your tiles, do anything you want, swipe right, and you got an app tray. Notice up, down, left, in the corner, bullshit.
That's sort of what Apple are doing.
Okay, I get what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I realize that
Apple have got the widgets and the swipe right, so they're sort of heading in the similar direction. No, that's what I'm saying. They're heading in that sort of general direction.
Yeah,
to where it was before.
And then, like I said, but when you mentioned HTC, Dan, you hit me in the feels, man, because that's still a carrier that OEM that I just miss. I just miss their stuff.
The best skin ever. HTC Sense was
Sense. Yeah, love Sense. As a matter of fact, to the point where I almost wanted to, and that's why I stopped ramen phones. So really. Because I can't. There was one good. It was Viper ROM. It was the last Sense-based ROM. They don't really develop it anymore, and I couldn't get it to flash right. So I'm like, I'm just going to stay with it. But I just liked. If you were talking about a UI that just worked, it was simple. Nothing's easier than having live tiles and just sticking shit onto your desktop. Like if I want to open up a Word doc,
used to love that.
Pin it right to the desktop. You don't have to worry about it at all. And then just when you need an app tray, one swipe, and you have all your apps. All right.
Wave then. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I will argue that people that don't have a Windows phone, it's a shame that it never got there. But I love Sense. I still love Sense. I know it's old. It's getting a little long in the tooth, but man, it's still
beautiful.
I liked it. I have to, but I'm biased. I realize that I'm biased.
The best thing about Lumias was not just the software; it was the colors and the styles. They were wild.
Yes, man.
They were wild.
And like I said,
I did see the leaked the Nokia that they're making the next year.
View looks just like
that looks good.
Like it looks like it's like a 1030.
Yeah.
If that phone came out, I don't care if it doesn't even work.
I'm okay
with using buggy software.
It's delayed till next year now.
I don't care. I'm using the buggy software. That hardware
it is
alone,
coming. It is coming.
I'll buy it.
And it is delayed till next year, but you will get one.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you missed that, but yeah, like the Lumi 920 case, shit, fuck that. You could throw it down the stairs, like literally go fuck it and go boom, 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 dust it off. Dude, that thing was indestructible. Nokia made phones that you
do that now.
No.
Your phone's in bits. That's it. You're done.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really good. So it's interesting. And of course, that's my wife. She likes to troll. And she's actually, and it's funny, Dan should feel proud because she doesn't always get on these shows. She was like, I even told her, I said, I told her I was going to have a guest on that I really wanted. She's like, She don't care. She doesn't know anything about this shit. So last night we're looking at our phones and like there's the guys coming on and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, she was like, yeah. So she
I get that. Mine's like that. My kids are more interested. They sit and watch this shit.
So they
probably shouldn't because they're 10 and 8, but fuck it.
Right. So I guess Dan, it seemed like you didn't either. Did you miss the Windows Phone or was it just a thing that just never really was in your wheelhouse? I guess.
Well, I missed it. I missed it. I go lie. I'm like, man.
Yeah, it's a shame, but yeah,
I was around people that didn't know. I guess didn't know what they was doing.
No, it just came down to it's like it was always even when Windows was still kind of rolling, like back 2013, 14. People were like, "Oh, Windows, they made a phone? I didn't know they made a phone." Yeah, well, they do.
Microsoft needs to, even if they don't bring it back, they need to do like an anniversary phone or a special edition or something with the original software, but obviously based off of Windows 10.
Yeah, with a proof.
They never will, but they should.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah. So what is
he'd buy it straight away.
Yeah, probably would. So
what's that? 2,500? Yeah, fuck it. There you go.
Yeah.
It's a Windows phone. Here, take my car.
Now, and I will say, to be perfectly fair, part of the reason why the Surface Duo really appealed to me, but because it was Microsoft's attempt to get back into that, and I really want to give them a chance. I do like it, but it's not a fluid experience. It's not flawless. There definitely are still bugs. I still have issues, but it's still a Surface, so it's kind of cool.
It's the first of its kind.
It's just two things.
The software is brand new. It's gonna be.
I want to hear what Dan says because I know he's got two. Like, there's two things about this phone. I know he's gonna be like,
that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, it's like, yeah, I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? But it just need to go big on the bezels. I mean, minimize the bezels. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. And that camera, you know what I'm saying, just make it a little bit more better. You know what I'm saying? Right. That would have been it. Those are the only two things about that Duo that kind of turned me away from it. But besides that, it closes flat, slimline design and all that. Man, you can buy a lot of great skins for it and everything. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, Sam, you got a good phone.
Not yellow ones.
Not yellow ones. I apologize. Sorry, Mom. Jesus Christ.
You ain't never gonna hear the end of it, man. Until Extreme Skins make a skin for the Duo, Piss Yellow is gonna get ripped.
So my question for Dan is gonna be like, so what's the next 3 to 6 months for you? Like, what do you got in the pipeline? You know, I know the phones have kind of slowed down. We're kind of like, any new projects, anything you're looking to do, like you want people to know? Because obviously, if you aren't following Dan, if you're in the stream and you're watching the show, or you listen to the
crazy?
Show,
if you're in the stream, you should be.
Please do me a favor and give Dan some love. TannaSoLit beats are good. They're awesome. His channel is great. If you aren't in here, most of these people probably are, Dan, to be fair. Most of these people already follow you. But if you don't, any way I can push some people your way. But also, when they do come your way, what are they going to be expecting to see out of TannaSoLit in the next couple months? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you can talk about, I basically.
Oh, yeah. Huge Phone of the Year collaboration. You know what I'm saying? Cool. With content creators big and small. I do it every year. So my choice for the year is going to be surprising to a lot of people and stuff like that. And more great content. New Year's Eve stream. More than likely, I'm thinking about doing real tough with Team Lit and everybody. We're going to go ahead and party real good. But then the next few months is me being a part of Team Pixel. Things are about to unfold out. The newness is going to be on the channel. More swag. You know what I'm saying? Tech swag and life is what I'm all about, and letting the tech do the talking. So, man, when you go ahead and join my channel, you're going to be a part of that. Also, some of the most lit live streams like this one that you've ever seen in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Live streams are legit.
I would say compared to those live streams, those are lit. This is kind of like
as a sort
moldering, kind of flickering, and then it's going to take off. Maybe it takes off. I don't know. And if it doesn't, that's okay. That's okay.
Our podcast is more like an old campfire. It's still lit, but it's just
But we got heat. We got heat. We just ain't lit. Like, we don't have big old bonfire.
Exactly.
This is like that big old bonfire. You throw a Chet pallet on, it's just like poof, right? You go to like a football game, right? Their streams are legit. Like, if you give yourself a chance, I mean, seriously, if you're gonna have that one on New Year's Eve, shit, I know where I'm gonna be. I'll be. I'm not gonna participate because first of all, I don't rank enough to get into that shit, and second of all. But to watch that content, I'm telling you, folks, if you want to watch a really fun live stream where Chief will just let it rip and just, dude, it'd be cool. Everything's cool. And then just like, wham, somebody makes a comment and like fucking sharks in the water, like boom, and they will fuck you up. We're good, and they'll stay on it too. They don't like just make the point, get off.
It's not one and done.
Hammering it, fucking boom, beat you, break you down to the motherfucking ground.
That few minutes pass, you think you're safe. Bang. No,
yeah, they break you down to the fucking ground, man. It's
don't pay attention to what they say. We're gonna have Christian fun on my stream.
Everything is G-rated, and we're all about a safe space. We want everybody to be included. We're loving shit. You want to talk about?
We're not being paid to say this, but it is completely fun. No drama, no nothing.
No,
it's cool.
Nah.
It's a real good time. If you ever have a chance to check it out, do yourself a favor when you know they're coming on and you can schedule like to get it notified. Check them out. And if you haven't listened, they're and again, a double A, man, bringing it. They're madness. It's mad in a good way. But if you're expecting a nice, quiet, oh, lovely, we're going to have a nice. No, it's gonna be real. And
why do you keep calling him double A?
It's a DT and nil. That's what
I know, but just call him a DT.
No, I like because it's a way. If he actually, I don't know if he likes it. If he doesn't, even better. Because I find ways to mess with him.
You could call him bitch, and he'd be like, "Hey."
No, he'd like that. He gets off on that shit. You know, chocolate and peanut butter lube.
100%. Oh,
peanut butter lube. Yeah,
chocolate and peanut butter lube is genuinely a thing that he said last week.
Yeah. Peanut butter lube. So that's who you're dealing with. You can't. You got to go rogue with a guy like that, man. You can't just fucking serve it up.
And man, I got to give a salute to my guy Juan back now. He was the guy that really, one of the guys that had pushed me because I'm like, man, this ain't for me. It's like, Tanner, you fucking out your mind, man. Just keep on doing it. This, that, and the other. I have fun at your shit. Wop the bam. I'm okay, Juan. Thank you, sir.
And it's funny you mentioned that because that's how this all started. We were all part of this Patreon, part of the stream.
Father basically of this channel.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started this off.
That's how we met through his community.
And since Dan didn't ask, he's going to get it anyway. The origin story of the Across the Pondcast, it started out with me just going. It was called the Sunday Stuff and Things. I just got on and just let it rip. 2 hours just talking about whatever bullshit came into my head. And then Matt came on one time. He was like, "Hey, I'd like to come on." So that's how it started. And then it just kind of went from there. But it was all because of Juan. And I even talked to Juan. I said, please do me a favor, listen to the first stream. And if it's just fail and fucked up and trash and dude, just whatever you do is your personal life, do that. Cause this shit ain't your jam. If it's that bad, please be real. Juan's like, no, man, your energy is awesome. It's cool. And we have enough of that prototypical, what content creation looked like. Juan was all about really pushing us to just go with whatever. And even if you only get 30 followers, 50 followers, 100 followers.
We have 62. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that.
But I'm glad to hear that Juan also has got some love in the ticker for you.
Man, that guy has got love for so many creators, and he will help anybody if he can. Yeah,
I agree.
And I'm glad to see. Yeah.
If he see you trying to help yourself, he's gonna reach out a hand out of nowhere. You be like, where the hell this come from? That's how I saw it. Like, man, just do this, that, and the third. Okay.
Yeah, and to see the fact that and that's how I can tell that just you can watch genuine people you're not really. It doesn't look like you're. Yeah, you'd be great if the thing blew up and you could get 3 or 4 million subscribers, but it doesn't seem like that's your purpose, and that's the channel creators we like to talk to. I want to get to know organically good, solid folks, and Juan was honestly one of my, and TK and all those other creators that really started us at the beginning. We're Juan and TK really.
Yeah.
And partner. Yeah, TK is just, if there's an antithesis to me, it's TK. He's very calm and metered and intelligent, and me, I'm just
the opposite of you.
Right.
Well, TK Bay or TK's garage?
No, TK Bay.
Oh, the smooth guy. Okay.
Yeah, the beard. Okay. The guy,
the guy on my hat.
But it's really interesting that you and I, like I said, and love to Juan and all he does, and he's really one of the good people in the space. And I think and also dives into areas that not everybody's going to go to, even at the expense of maybe catching shit or maybe getting some bad press or maybe catching just straight on hate. And sometimes you got to be there, and that's how you know that people aren't full of shit, because they're willing to dive into the thing and get nasty.
Yeah, exactly. Action speaks louder than words. No question about it.
We always got to throw some love out there for Juan, though. Like everything we do, the community, the Discord, It's all because of him. So we always throw out some love for him anyway.
Yeah, TK's weed. I'm Ritalin.
That's probably the most accurate.
Yeah. Simon.
Well,
great analogy.
Absolutely.
And a crazy chihuahua. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what Juan calls me, a coked out chihuahua. That's what he calls me.
Coked up chihuahua. Yeah.
So, I'm really looking forward to see what Dan's going to bring. And as far as did you get back in the studio? Because I think you had some new stuff come out. Yeah. So what do you got on that front?
I'm doing some old major work with major artists, and as of late, but still, I'm still dropping new beats on chosenbeats.club as well. But I got an artist of my own named Franco that I'm working with, and he's phenomenal. So I got a lot of stuff on the music end that's coming out early first quarter, which is January through March.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, like I said, again, yeah. So not only do you got good content coming in the channel as far as, Team Pixel and where that's going to go, which I'm fascinated by.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Pixels and Team Pixels next year.
2021.
It's going to be so good.
Get it done.
Yeah. But, so if you see that on tagline, you heard it here first.
Have it fired.
2021, getting it done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then it just also the fact that you're bringing not only that, but just the music creation and your music content and your beats and just what you do is really professional. And I like to see people hard working and doing it for love of the game, not just for money, not for leverage, not for anything else, but because it's truly what's in your heart. It's like, that's what I want to do. And I know I'm good at it. And I want to do it because I enjoy it. That's
a purpose. It's a purpose. And there's a meaning behind everything.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. It's like,
I know. A friend of mine, he's does the same thing. Dread-Eye. He doesn't do it for this. He doesn't do it for that. He does it for himself. He's listening, helping. He's all right. It's good. I respect people that do it for good reasons. Not, I want to get famous.
Well, and that's just like anything else. I think that's, and I think here's the thing, and maybe Dan's, you've probably been around enough people in your personal life and professional life in this space where you can kind of tell that. Yeah, I don't think that their heart's in the right place, right? I know why they're doing it. I'm not throwing shade, but I just don't rock with that. I like authentic people. And I mean, I'm not trying to be hateful. If that's what you want to do and if that makes you happy to kind of put up that front and kind of, but I'm telling you that if you're not doing it for real reasons, it's going to be obvious to your content creation absorbers and to other people. They're going to realize that you aren't a genuine person. That's just, it might work in the short term, but a long-term success just ain't going to roll with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you see the attitude shift when the success hit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait a minute, this motherfucker's a total tool and an asshole. What the fuck? Out of nowhere. But they probably always been that tool and asshole, but didn't have the funds to back it up to make sure that their self-esteem was high enough. You know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right. No, I'm gonna be the same guy from day one until I finish. It is what it is. I can't stand funny people.
Right. And that's why I can always tell, because like good people and
I'm always gonna be a dick. That's just me.
Right.
Makes sense to me.
And just unattractive and generally just a pissy bitch.
All right, you little old cunt. It's fine.
So we're getting around that 115 mark. So Dan, if for people in the chat or people who don't know, what's a good place to get a hold of you? What's a good place to consume you have Twitter, all your social feeds. I will put them in the show notes that when I post the audio version of this. But if people don't know who you are, shame on you already. But if you don't, how do they get piped into your awesome content?
Okay, cool, man. You can catch me on Instagram at Tanna_So_lit. You know what I'm saying? I'm there a whole lot posting videos and all types of stuff. And also on Twitter at TannaSoLit, one word and everything. And of course on YouTube at TannaSoLit, you dig. Or on another episode of this right here across the Pondcast. You know what I'm saying? I want to come back if it's all right with you guys.
Well, I was going to ask, we always ask the end of the show because usually when we get done with these, then we're like, so this is kind of like how it goes. And then people are like, yeah, it's just fucking crazy, right? But so and I can tell you from a personal, me being Sam, not talking as a creator, not talking as a guy, I would love to have you on and pick your brain about anything else whenever you'd like to come on. Okay, you are absolutely welcome in, and it's just like, again. And Matt kind of put me out there. I was kind of hoping he'd be a little bit more tactful instead of kind of just throwing my shit out in the street. But he's like, I was literally like, when you responded finally,
I was fucking like, I ain't hiding shit. If you've got shit to throw, I'm going to throw you shit. I ain't bothered.
Right. But the funny thing was when finally, because I realized you're busy and I realized that we're not exactly again, we realize that we're just trying to start now. We're just a low key creator, but when you actually respond, it's like, hey man, I'm like, I got some time, I got some bandwidth. Let's do this. I'm like, I immediately I didn't give a shit. I don't know what time it was. I was like, Matt, because he's in the UK. Or I was like, dude, Tana just responded like he's actually wanting to come on. He's like,
I was like 3 a.m. I'm thinking, what the
fuck is happening? Are you okay? I'm like,
what the fuck is going on?
No, I'm not okay in a good way. But Dan Tana's actually wanting to come on the show, and he's actually going to show up. And like I said, I get excited for anybody who comes on because I realize there's no upside for you here. Like probably most of the people who are following you probably already are. You don't exactly have global reach, but just to have you on the show and actually talk to you just real in a real setting like this on our show is like, I don't know. It's just awesome. We really appreciate it.
All praises. And I think it's an upside for any situation. You know what I'm saying? You might look at your situation like it's like this or like that. But to me, I'm getting to know other people that I didn't know before. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. It's all equal. You know what I'm saying? Fair exchange, no robbery at all. And it's an honor to be on this podcast with you guys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cool. So we're going ahead and we will go ahead and sign. We'll take that. And you can come on and we'll obviously be in touch. And if you aren't following, I'll make sure I put stuff in the show notes. I know DT had put in the comments about Bandcamp. Do yourself a favor. If you want to listen to some really good stuff, please go check out Tana's stuff. It's amazing. It's really, really good stuff. And the fact is you can just listen to it and enjoy it. And, and that's all good. And support.
That's what I do.
It's and support.
It's just I'm doing, and it's this on like this. I listened to quite a few bits in the background, and it was one of them.
And of course, like anybody, always in the comments, we got a detail and all and Jim and everybody. Simon's is Hypno, and I saw a whole bunch of people.
Troy was here.
Troy was here.
Reviews. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and we got and Jermaine was in here as well. We had him on last week, and he was an incredible
guest
guy.
As well.
Awesome.
So
still didn't get no fucking fish and chips.
Hey.
We got to take care of Tana. So when Dan comes, if Dana happens to be swinging down into the loo, we'll take him. We'll get him hooked up properly.
Oh yeah, I'm coming back. Believe that.
St. Louis. It's called a loo.
It's called a.
Damn it,
Matt.
It's a fucking a loo in the UK. Is a toilet.
It's a pisser.
I'm just saying. I'm nipping to the loo means I'm going for a shit. I'm going for a piss. Not I'm just nipping to Sam's house.
I'm gonna say that on Wednesday on my next stream. I say, yeah, hey man, go take a look. You know what's that? Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing is, I because of Matt, I called somebody a takeaway yesterday, and somebody looked at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah, takeaway. They're like, huh? Carry out, like a carry out meal. It's called a take." I was like, "Oh shit, man! It's rubbing off on me."
It is rubbing off on him.
Yeah, and then the funny thing on this
stuff all the time.
Because you can't set it to the United States, there's no region. It's set to UK. So when I go, I swear to God, I'm not lying. When you go to Google and it says like if they're available for like dine in or carry out, it doesn't say carry out. It says takeaway. So I was like,
that's because
I even said to my wife. I said to my wife, I said, "Hey, guess what? This burger place, they got a takeaway." And she's like, take a what? I was like, oh, fuck me. She's like, I know, right? You got to stop hanging out with that. You turn into a British guy, and we're gonna have that. I can't have enough of you anyway. I'm already dealing with your dumb shit. I don't want you calling it takeaway.
Hey, we speak English.
He got a point there, but fuck that. Y'all drive on the wrong side of the street and y'all call soccer football. I got a problem with y'all.
Because it's played with your feet.
and Jermaine even agrees. They drive on the wrong side of the street. So that's correct side. We're going to end it there.
Yeah.
And then for Sam and for Matt and for Dan TannaSoLit, thank you, sir, for coming on the show again. You're always welcome. We want to make sure. Oh, absolutely.
100%.
And we'll come away.
So much fun. As we knew it would be.
And in case you don't come on before the end of the year, you have yourself a good, safe rest of the year, a good holiday season, and we'll be back in 2021, getting it done and taking care.
Appreciate you guys too. Appreciate that big time.
All right, and for Sam, for Matt, for Dan TannaSoLit, that's the Across the Pondcast, the best podcast you've never heard of. We'll be back next Sunday. Who we got next Sunday? I guess
Callum, True Tech Reviews.
There you go. So we're bringing it. Still
one
bringing
of the new
guests.
Boys. He's quite new to YouTube, so I'm
we'll
quite happy to have him.
That. Sorry for the echo, guys, but you know what? We're just going to plow through. And for Sam,
plow through it. We've been plowing through it. Fuck it.
For Dan Tanna,
yes, sir.
Have yourselves a good, safe time.
You too,
Be
bro.
good with your texts, and we'll catch you all on the next show. Bye.
Salute.